And we continue at 2:06 in the afternoon on the John Phillips Show. Mr. Randy Wangs in Culver City.
Oh, boy, here we go. It looks like Gavin Newsom has scheduled a press conference for around 2:30, 3 o'clock to announce an update on California's plan to do what Texas is doing.
So he's gone too long without attention, so now he needs to hold a press conference so he can swear on live TV and get more attention.
Apparently his podcast with Jasmine Crockett didn't get him enough attention, so he's doing a presser, and I bet you he's at the point where he thinks that the cable news channels are going to start taking his pressers.
How far away are we from him flying to New York and just setting up shop behind the stage of the Today Show?
About a week.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Well, there is a new poll that dropped this morning for the gubernatorial race here in California. The polling hasn't really been given much weight of late because we didn't know who would be in the field. We didn't know if Kamala Harris would be a candidate. We still don't know if Rick Caruso would be a candidate. So they dropped these polls, they dropped these numbers, and no one really paid much attention to it because it could change. It could change with one bold-faced name throwing their hat in the ring. Well, according to a new poll that just dropped, Katie Porter is in first place with 21%. Coming in second is Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco at 15%. Then Steve Hilton of Fox News, formerly of Fox News, is at 12%. Javier Baccaria is at 9%.
Scrub-a-dub-dub almost got double digits.
Almost. Antonio Villaraigosa is also at 9%. Betty Yee is at 6%. Rick Caruso, who is not yet a candidate, is at 6%. Tony Atkins is at 4%. Tony Thurman is at 2%. Stephen Klubeck is at 2%. And other candidates are at 9%. And Katie Porter is now basking in the glow of being the front runner. Multiple polls now show her as the first place finisher in the race if the race were held and the voting were done today.
Please.
And because of that, she's getting booked on CNN every 20 seconds.
She is. It's interesting. She is campaigning, but she's not doing any local interviews. She's not talking to any local television or radio stations, but she's on CNN constantly to talk about this redistricting nonsense.
And she looks almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, I don't want to make any allegations here, but someone looks like they're on Ozempic.
Well, it's working because she looks like a different person. Now, I don't know if she's taken the one dose or she's a pincushion, but she looks like half the person that she used to be.
I guess she's rebranding.
You know, I don't know why, but I keep getting these TikTok videos that Rosie O'Donnell is posting on social media.
The algorithm knows what you want.
Why are they giving me heaping helpings of Rosie O'Donnell videos?
Because social media algorithms either are designed to show you things that you like or show you things that are going to enrage you. Either way, you're going to watch.
Well, she's lost a lot of weight, too. And she says she's on Mounjaro, but she's not on Mounjaro for weight loss. She's on Mounjaro for diabetes.
Well, that's the legitimate reason for all of these GLP-1s. They were made for diabetics.
None of those people can get a hold of it because all the fat people are taking it.
Yes.
And you know something else? Whenever she posts these videos up, she's got a great big cold sore right on her lip.
That one I can't explain.
Well, I think a leprechaun gave her an STD. She self-deported to Ireland, you know.
Let's hear Katie Porter on with CNN before you say something that's going to make us have to go into a meeting.
All right, let's hear what she has to say.
California Democrats are one step closer to approving a ballot measure that paves the way for new congressional maps. Lawmakers in Sacramento are trying to get a ballot referendum passed that could potentially net Democrats 5 more seats in Washington and the 2026 midterms. The measure still needs to pass the full Assembly and Senate before it goes to voters for final approval.
And as of today, it's going through the Senate right now. I believe it passed the Assembly. I don't know if Gavin's trying to time his presser to when both of them pass and then he can sign this thing. But I would assume he'd wait till Texas, which isn't done yet, passing their thing.
Well, it has nothing to do with what the other states are doing. It has everything to do with what will generate the most publicity for Gavin.
And this push comes as Texas Republicans inch closer to approving new congressional maps that would create 5 additional Republican-leaning House districts. Katie Porter joins us now. She was a Democratic Congresswoman representing California and is now running for governor. Thanks for joining us. So you have supported this move by Democrats, but does all of this undermine the independent redistricting process?
Absolutely not.
Can Shane give her an assist?
Well, maybe. Hold on. I think I have one that I can do here. I think I have an actual Shang absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
So let me see if I can do not just an assist, but how about we do a good old-fashioned tag out? You ready?
I'm ready.
But does all of this undermine the independent redistricting process? Absolutely not.
Okay, maybe I can do a layover. I think I know how to do that. Let's see. If I wanted to do a mix paste, where we have both sound at the same time.
Redistricting process?
Absolutely not.
You're a whiz with that computer.
Someday I'm going to teach you how to do this stuff.
Really?
Well, what if I go on vacation and the phones go down?
When will that ever happen?
I would like you to have an alternate of something to do with yourself besides texting me while I'm on vacation and complaining about it.
Well, if you think the phone line's going down makes me swear, you've never seen me in front of a computer.
As I'm traveling the state running for governor, what I'm hearing over and over again from people is that they want California to push back and be a check on Donald Trump. They want someone who's going to fight for and protect our democracy. And that's exactly what California is doing here. We are using democratic tools, putting this direct.
Well, but there are definitely tools in that legislature.
What's funny about this is going to be the excuse that they're all going to have to exclusively talk about federal issues and not talk about any state issues at all in this race.
She's running for the CEO of the largest state in the union, the 4th largest economy in the world. And she doesn't get any questions about California when it comes to what she would do in running it. It's all about, hey, what do you think about what Gavin's doing right now?
And you know what? She's as happy as a clam.
And that's exactly what California is doing here. We are using democratic tools.
The prune farmer might be the biggest tool right now.
No kidding.
Putting this directly to the people of California, giving them a say about whether or not they want to redraw these maps because of what to the undemocratic extreme action of a gerrymandered Texas legislature.
Oh, fun fact about this. According to the stellar reporting of Ashley Zavala, who must have not gotten much sleep in the last few days because she's been extensively covering this up in Sacramento, this morning they took the language out of the bill that said this only happens if Texas does it.
And they added in a bunch of other states and a ...
That's now going to act to even further gerrymander congressional districts.
What do you say to those who argue, look, 2 wrongs don't make a right, and now this is just going to have a cascade effect? What do you say?
What California is doing is very different than what Texas is doing. First, California...
Well, this is a claim that they're going to make over and over and over again. They're going to claim, and they have been claiming, that this is not a gerrymandered map, that this is a fair map, and it's a map that they can stand by.
At this point, with how divided we are on this nonsense, the only straight shooters in the game are the ones, and there's not that many, who will openly say what Texas is doing is wrong and what California is doing is wrong.
What California is doing is very different than what Texas is doing. First, California was hopeful that if we said that we would do this, that Texas would stand down, that they would go back to what
Texas doesn't back down from a fight.
Nope. And they're not backing down from Gavin Newsom, and they're not backing down from you.
Go back to what we've seen, which is redistricting only following a census. They have not. Second, the Texas legislature is the one acting here, a deeply gerrymandered legislature. In California, who's going to make this decision? The people of California.
Well, the ones that show up.
Well, we have to, because the people voted in an independent commission that you're trying to get rid of.
So we are using a democratic tool to reshape our democracy in response to the extreme, undemocratic, authoritarian activity that we are seeing out of Washington. And the last thing I will say is this is temporary. Built into the language that Californians will be considering is the fact that California will return to its really leading, groundbreaking, very, very, very excellent independent redistricting process here in just a couple of years. So
it's so great, it's so fantastic that we have to get rid of it. And maybe we'll come back to it.
We swear we'll bring it back. You can trust us. We're the same people that told you that Jerry Brown's tax hike was temporary.
Oh, yeah. Well, we tried.
Years. So this is a response to what I hope will be short-lived anti-democratic authoritarian activity out of Washington.
Have you been in conversations with any other Democrats about trying to redistrict in other states?
Who's talking to Katie Porter?
No, she's a former member of Congress. She's not currently in office. Nobody is talking to her. And they didn't like her when she was in Congress.
I have not talked to them about that, but I have had a lot of people in California ask me about this. Everything from people that I'm talking to when I'm shopping for groceries.
There it is.
Always comes down to food with her, even when she's on Ozempic, allegedly.
She might have gotten a personal trainer. Who knows?
Well, why does she need a personal trainer? She's got the exercise bike in the kitchen.
People that I'm talking to when I'm shopping for groceries, to other elected officials.
So let's say you're at the Whole Foods in Irvine, and your shopping cart comes up to Katie Porter. The first thing you ask her about is Gavin Newsom's redistricting plan?
No, the first thing you say is, hey, why'd you take those Oreos out of my cart?
That's a lot of potatoes, Congresswoman. Are those just for dinner, or do you have some other plans for them?
Who pissed you off this time?
People that I'm talking to when I'm shopping for groceries, to other elected officials. I think that we are going to see.
Who besides Robert Garcia even calls her anymore?
I'm telling you, they all hated her. Nancy Pelosi was at the top of that list, too.
Paul! To other elected officials. I think that we are going to see a lot of other states have to think about what to do. I think what Texas...
So she wants the Cold War to continue.
Oh, yeah, because this gives her a federal issue to run on. She doesn't know anything about California, so now she can talk about something she knows about.
I think what Texas and what Trump has pushed Texas to do here is to set off what could be a whole rash of changes in how we vote. We're already seeing Trump step up this game and now attack mail-in voting, which is widely used in California. 81% of Californians voted by mail in our last election.
Not that many Californians vote. Maybe 81% of the people that did vote by mail, but we're lucky when we pass 50%, baby.
Remember when we used to have those city elections on their own?
Oh, you mean like in 2017 when Eric Garcetti won re-election with 14% of people voting?
And then when there's a special election, it's even lower than that.
He's widely used in California. 81% of Californians voted by mail in our last election. And now we're seeing Trump try to attack mail-in elections, vote by mail. So I think we are going to have to see other states try to consider what to do if Trump is going to continue to fundamentally attack our democracy.
Which other Democratic-controlled states would you want to see take on this effort?
Well, I think every state, not just democratically controlled states, ought to be stepping up in this moment. I think we're seeing some real bravery coming out of folks in Texas who are saying, we don't want to do this. We're seeing legislators try to push back. We're seeing citizens of Texas try to push back. And so I would love to see other states, all states, step up in this moment and try to have independent redistricting commissions, which most of our gerrymandered states, obviously, they do not.
Yeah, but we don't want it either now.
You know, the more I listen to this, the more I realize that she's doing at the state level exactly what Newsom is doing at the federal level. She is trying to make herself the chief Trump hater in the race. And because Democrats hate Trump so much, she thinks that's good enough. And the way that Gavin Newsom is shot up to the top of the polls in the Democratic primary for president, she's shooting up to the top of the polls in the race for governor here in California. And what she's hoping to do right now is she's hoping to create so much separation between her and everyone else that she puts the baby to bed before it starts.
So there's an opportunity here not just to do what California's done, but for lots of states to actually stop gerrymandering and move toward an independent redistricting commission, which is still the gold standard of how to do this. California is not.
It's the gold standard that we're throwing away.
California had an unbelievably gerrymandered map to begin with, by the way. What they want to do is gerrymander it up even more. When she says, let's have independent commissions draw the lines around the country, what she wants is Democratic gerrymanders by a different name.
Is not backing away from what we have done. We are keeping that system. This is a short.
No, we're not.
We are taking those lines from that commission and getting rid of them and replacing them with a gerrymandered map.
This is a short-term response to an emergency, to a crisis of democracy that's been provoked by Donald Trump and Republicans.
I want to play for you what one California Republican assemblyman had to say about this.
Oh, this is interesting. CNN, maybe for the first time ever, features sound of David Tongipa from the Central Valley.
All right.
We should prove by example that we can do this better, that we create the foundations for the rest of the nation, because it's supposed to go as California goes the nation. But we've lost that. And that's what we've seen and heard today. I mean, we can't even read our own bill, but we'll decide to present it and vote on it too.
And by the way, I've heard him in interviews. He has also called out Texas, so this isn't some partisan thing for him.
No, he's got a bright future ahead of him.
Why is he wrong, and how do you think Governor Newsom is handling this with his aggressive stance toward the Trump administration?
Well, look, Republicans in Washington, D.C. had the opportunity, including California Republicans, to vote for national independent redistricting commissions.
She can't even say it.
No, she can't.
To vote for national independent redistricting commissions. H.R. 1, the For the People Act, when I was in Congress just a few years ago. And you know how many Republicans voted for that bill? 0. None. We had the opportunity in Congress for Republicans, including California Republicans, to say, we think independent redistricting should be adopted in every single state in this country, with each state doing their own independent.
Okay, I've had enough of this.
And, of course, what we learned when we heard from these quote-unquote independent commissions, including the independents on that independent commission, is that they were more partisan than the Democrats. That's what she wants. That's what she's asking for. Never going to happen. If you'd like to email the show, you can do so at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. That's johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. And Randy, you're monitoring the mailbag.
Every once in a while, John, we get new listeners who might need an explainer or two to where these wacky drops come from. Jeffrey writes in at johnnydon'tlikeshow@gmail.com. Hey, John and Randy, can you please tell me where the Katie Porter Paul came from?
Paul!
John, you want to handle that one?
Well, when Katie was running for U.S. Senate, there was a television station in Sacramento that followed her around to do a profile on her. And part of that profile involved following her home when she was, I guess, cooking dinner for her kids or something along those lines. And it was time for Paul to come down. He was being summoned by his mother. And instead of walking up the stairs and asking him to come down, she just walked over to the banister pole and started screaming his name.
Paul!
Also, can you guys explain what the cashier is dummy comes from the crime blotter?
Well, there was a gas station in Lakewood that was being robbed repeatedly, although it's not the kind of robbery that you see on the news commonly. What was going on at this particular gas station is the trucks would come and they would attach a hose to the ground and they would steal the gasoline straight from the ground at the gas station. And when the owner of the gas station was asking how in the world a big truck could come in and steal the grass straight from the ground, the answer was, well, the cashier is dummy.
If the cashier is dummy.
And that was our first drop of the year.
I believe it was.
It came up real close against the ladies from Reseda.
I know.
But ultimately, the cashier of dummy was our first drop of the year.
If the cashier is dummy.
And every year in December, we will go through all of the drops that we picked up through the year, and we will have a vote as to which drop is the drop of the year, and we're going to do that again this year.
Johnny, you want to just guess how many drops I've collected since January?
I can only imagine.
I'm going to check right now as I scroll all the way down. The first drop collected this year was January 7th. I have collected, of my 796 total drops that I've been collecting since 2020, 135 are from this year.
We used to be able to get through all of the drops in an hour easy. No way that's going to happen this year.
It's going to be a whole special.
800-222-5222 is the telephone number, 1-800-222-5222. Well, one of the subjects that has found itself in the crosshairs of Gavin Newsom's insane tweets is Bed Bath & Beyond, who announced that they would not be opening up a location in California due to California's hostile business climate.
Now, I know a lot of you might be wondering, wait a second, I thought they went out of business and all those Bed Bath & Beyonds are now Spirit Halloweens.
Well, they're coming back, but they won't be coming back to California until we get a little saner.
Well,
which means never.
Yeah, that's not happening anytime soon. For more on what Bed Bath & Beyond said and the war of words that is now going on between the head of Bed Bath Beyond Home, which is their new name, and Gavin Newsom's press people, here's CBS Sacramento.
Bed Bath & Beyond staying beyond California borders. The parent company says it will not open any stores in the state, calling it too expensive to operate.
Brady Halblab shows us what the company is saying and how lawmakers are responding.
The company's chairman says that the decision isn't political, it's reality. Marcus Lemonis announced today that California will be excluded from the company's nationwide rollout of the new Bed Bath & Beyond home stores.
So if you want to buy random crap that's as seen on TV, you're going to have to go to Nevada.
I've never understood the concept of that, Bed Bath & Beyond. So we got bedroom furniture, we have bathroom items, and then beyond. So that could mean aluminum siding.
Also, when you first enter that store, it's all kitchen stuff, and they don't even get a mention in the title.
Rude.
Customers for the first time walking through the doors of a rebranded Bed Bath & Beyond home. The company's new identity
I don't think the name was the problem.
No.
Problem was they spent a whole bunch of money on sending coupons to everybody every 10 minutes.
Every time I'd go on vacation, I'd come back, my mailbox would be full, and half of it would be Bed Bath & Beyond coupons.
The company.
I would love to just see, as somebody that, we technically work in the advertising business, the return on investment for direct mail has to be minuscule. It seems like such a colossal waste of money. And yes, I know I'm biased because I'd prefer people bought radio ads, but direct mail makes me actively hate certain advertisers.
Did you ever use a Bed Bath & Beyond coupon when purchasing an item there?
I did not, because I throw all of my junk mail away right when I get it.
The company's new identity.
They got my $20 for a trash can. Didn't save them, apparently.
The company's new identity following its 2023 bankruptcy. But these shoppers were in Brentwood, Tennessee. It's an experience California customers will not get.
This is not a new trend. This has been going on in California for a long time.
The company's CEO.
By the way, I will say, sound strategy to get people to pay attention to Bed Bath & Beyond by taking a shot at California.
Well, you know that Newsom would take the bait, and he did.
This is not a new trend. This has been going on in California for a long time.
The company's CEO announced Wednesday that they will not open any stores in California, citing high taxes, rising wages, and strict regulations that make it impossible to operate. Instead of physical stores, shoppers will have to go online. The company's chairman...
They're not.
Nope.
As soon as you tell someone go online, they go to Bezos, and you're not getting any of that money.
The company's chairman says they're focused on fair prices and protecting jobs and investments, but argue California makes it too difficult. Sac State finance professor Sanjay Varshney says we can expect more major companies to follow suit.
This is kind of an ugly trend. Nothing new, like I said, but on the flip side, I think it's just shocking that nobody's paying attention to doing something about fixing it.
I mean, right now we have a situation where major retailers have gone out of business or left the state, and then they get replaced by Spirit Halloween. But, John, what do we do when the Spirit Halloweens leave California?
Oh, that's when homeless people break in and become squatters.
Yep.
Governor Newsom.
Whether it's the former Westfield San Francisco Center or the Valley Plaza, what we're going to have is a bunch of abandoned buildings full of homeless people.
Great. Just what we need.
Governor Newsom and his team aren't buying the argument. In a statement, he says, quote, after the bankruptcy and closure of every store, like most Americans, we thought Bed Bath & Beyond no longer existed. We wish them well in their effort to become relevant again.
Caddy.
He is such a bitch. And I guess he becomes popular with Democrats by being bitchy, but it doesn't look presidential.
Now, did you see that with all these tweets that were going on, going after Bed Bath & Beyond from Gavin Newsom's press account, that Matt Mahan pushed back against it?
Oh, yeah, the mayor of San Jose. He could be an interesting addition to the gubernatorial race.
Matt Mahan was like, you know, with all the problems in California, we should be encouraging businesses to come back here, not chasing them out.
Yeah, what if you're looking for a job and that was a place you could have worked at? And you have Gavin Newsom telling them to go to hell.
The statement went on to tout California's economy. Varshney, however, argues more companies will leave California if policies don't change to incentivize businesses to return.
It's primarily because our policies are misguided, and those policies make it more expensive, not less expensive, for the state to be able to do business or for the people to do business.
And when your whole business model is that you sell crap that people saw on TV, and when they saw it on TV, it says it's only $29.99, but because of how expensive it is doing business in California, when you go to the Bed Bath & Beyond, it's $39.99, they don't buy it.
I went to an REI yesterday. That's the first time I've been in a non-grocery store, non-Target, non-Walmart in a very long time. If it's an item I can't get at one of those places, I almost always just buy it online.
I have an issue with REI.
Why?
Went in there to buy a water bottle, and they said, hey, would you like to join the co-op? We'll send you emails. You get discounts. No, I just want to buy the water bottle. You sure you don't want to join the co-op? This conversation went on for more than 3 minutes.
A co-op?
They're a co-op.
Huh.
They wouldn't just sell me the water bottle.
Then I'd go buy a water bottle someplace else.
Or for businesses to survive.
It should be as simple as, here's my card. I want this. I'm taking this. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I don't like it when they make you take the SATs, too.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
I'm not donating to St. Jude's. I'm not joining your co-op. I'm not giving you my email address. This is why people said screw it to retail, and they're giving money to Bezos.
Yeah, the whole point is to be less annoying, not more annoying. And if you're a brick and mortar and you decide that you're going to stay in business by being more annoying, you're wrong.
And what do you need my zip code for?
Bed Bath & Beyond filed for bankruptcy back in 2023 before rebranding to Bed Bath & Beyond Home.
That's a dumb name. But it was a dumb name first.
Yeah. Can you imagine sitting around a conference table saying, you know, the problem with Bed Bath & Beyond is that it's just not long enough. We need to find a way to keep adding more words. It's like LGBT. The problem with that is 4 letters makes it look so naked. Can't we add like 14 more? And then how about some hieroglyphics, too?
The first new location opened up less than 2 weeks ago in Tennessee, with more stores set to open up nationwide next year. For now, none of those stores will be located here in California.
So there you go. The war of words between Gavin Newsom's press bitches and Bed Bath & Beyond. Or, excuse me, Bed Bath Beyond Home.
800-222-5222 is telephone number. 1-800-222-5222. Well, if there's anything that we despise, it's road diets. Politicians purposely making traffic worse than it otherwise would be is demonic. Yet, for whatever reason, they continue doing it.
Well, and now, John, they're targeting the only street that moves in Hollywood. Guess what street that is?
Oh, it's Fountain.
They want to take 2 lanes away from Fountain for dedicated bike lanes.
Who was it? Joan Crawford or one of those old-timey Hollywood starlets? Whenever she would be asked, what's the best way to get to Hollywood? She'd say, take Fountain.
Well, that's going away, especially on the West Hollywood side, as West Hollywood residents are shocked to find out that they are soon going to see the only street that moves in Hollywood getting a road diet. For more, here is, I think this was K-Cal.
New tonight, after years of...
Nope, it's Fox 11.
New tonight, after years of deadly crashes and tragic hit and runs, West Hollywood's finally taking action on one of its most dangerous streets. Fox 11's Chelsea Edwards is live with details on the major changes and how residents are reacting. Chelsea?
Well, they are pretty fired up. It was a really big turnout here in Plummer Park. This was a chance for residents to learn more about this project and how it might affect them, also to lend their voices, and it was standing room only.
It's an insane idea. It's just going to cause absolute gridlock, and I couldn't oppose it more.
Outcry at a West Hollywood community meeting over the future of Fountain
Here's
Avenue.
the problem. That's the point. That's what they want. They want to make it so miserable to drive a car that you ride their murder trains.
They think there's this theoretical person that lives in Silver Lake that wants to take their bike to Beverly Hills. Doesn't exist.
Go ahead and try it. You're going to end up at your office with great big pit stains, and you're going to be huffing and puffing all day.
How in good conscience do we move forward with this? These are reasonable questions being asked.
Even that baby doesn't like it.
The baby votes no.
At issue, the controversial Fountain Avenue streetscape project, which would eliminate 2 of the current 4 lanes of traffic along the deadly 1.8-mile stretch to make way for protected...
I don't know why they keep calling it deadly.
Well, I'm sure people do get run over there, but it's a big city. That's just going to happen.
To make way for protected bike lanes, wider sidewalks, and new landscaping.
This is the biggest bunch of bull.
Micah Greenfield has lived on Fountain for decades and says he's usually happy with the city. But this?
Cause worse traffic, but people can walk. I hate to say this, but there are not a lot of people other than walking your dog on Fountain. And I've been there for almost 50 years. What about the dumbest thing that anybody ever dreamt if they know Fountain Avenue? The dumbest.
You don't walk on Fountain. There's nothing to look at there. It's just houses.
Yeah, it's usually people walking down Fountain to get to La Cienega to then get to Santa Monica Boulevard, which is where all the bars and restaurants are.
You couldn't get anything dumber.
The only thing you could do is take a big bulldozer and go down, make it twice as wide, but not narrow. Any more narrow will increase the amount of traffic coming and going.
Looking at it, it clearly is what they call a road diet, which is another way of saying a traffic nightmare.
Data shows that 64% of the traffic on Fountain is just passing through, so the idea is to make it more local serving and safer for everyone.
But that's the only street that you can ever get across town on. Why would you take that away?
And here's what's going to happen. You're going to ruin Sunset and Santa Monica, too.
This slow street, this calm street is actually going to improve the lives of everyone in the area.
Calm streets. Just stop it.
And Waze is going to take everyone on the local city streets, and you're going to turn those into the Indy 500.
Even people who don't bike or walk too much. This is a very thoughtful, very measured approach to making Fountain a better street, a safer street for everyone.
The project was unanimously approved by the WeHo City Council in 2022.
And here's the thing that I want to know. All the people that went to this meeting to voice their outrage, did they vote for these members of the city council?
Of course they did, because the members of the council hate Trump. And that was good enough for them. Well, now guess what? The next time you have an appointment, leave 20 minutes early. You get the government you deserve.